After suffering from seizures and facing multiple dismals from corporate positions, Stacey Chillemi took matters into her own hands and became a 20-time best-selling author, also a motivational speaker and advocate for alternative therapies. And Stacey's joining us now. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on the couch this morning. So let's dive right into it. What are some popular alternative therapies and how do they complement conventional treatments?
A lot of times, I'll speak for myself. I like to detox. That was one of the biggest things. Once I started to detox and cleanse all the toxins out of my body, I noticed a significant change in the way I was actually functioning. My seizures went down. They decreased tremendously. I was just noticing a lot of health, energy, the fatigue went away, and my whole body did a total turnaround.
Well, depending on, what someone is going through in their life, how do they choose the right alternative method really based on their own health?
I think everybody's different, so they really have to maybe speak with a functional medicine doctor. A functional medicine doctor will do thorough blood work and see where they're lacking, what vitamins they're deficient in, what needs to be done, and they'll have an accurate answer from the functional medicine doctor, so they'll know where to go from that point on.
There can be some myths surrounding alternative methods to different things. So what are some potential benefits really to it and also potential risks associated with taking an alternative route?
A lot of people don't realize, but a lot of supplements are just like medications. A lot of pharmaceutical companies use supplements in their medications. So if you have something like diabetes, or if you have something like high cholesterol, heart disease medication that you're using, you have to really check with your doctor because you can have interactions. There's many medications, even with epilepsy, that supplements, you really shouldn't take certain supplements because they can actually decrease the potential on the medication and they can cause problems, or even for people with epilepsy, they can cause an increase in seizures because the medication isn't as effective.
Yeah, well, there are a number of different ways when we're talking about these alternative methods. One of those is called energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, and how is that approached when it comes to physical and emotional health?
I like energy healing because I believe that everything needs to be aligned. All the chakras need to be aligned because our whole body is run by energy. The whole world is run by energy. So you have to really focus on the 7 chakras and try to align them. And if you do research on it, you'll find a lot of information about it, and it could be very healing to the body.
Now, how can viewers who are watching this, find the right practitioner for them, depending on whatever it is that they're going through?
A lot of times there's certain websites that you can go to and they'll have the doctors listed, and they'll actually have a lot of reviews and people who have actually used them and what they thought, and also it will list all their credentials and how long they've actually been practicing.
Can you share with us a bit about your story and what really led you on this path of alternative healing?
I had epilepsy from the age of 5 through a virus called encephalitis. It had traveled to my brain. I ended up in a coma for 4 days actually, and I ended up with epilepsy. It was a long haul. I had a lot of problems. It was like a roller coaster ride, but through a lot of different ways of learning how to cope with it. I actually met with an herbalist. He taught me a lot about natural healing. I applied it to my life. I changed the way I ate. I changed the way I slept. I changed the way I handled stress, along with vitamins and nutrients and supplements, and my whole life turned around.
Now, for those who might be thinking or maybe a little scared, depending on some of the myths as we spoke about surrounding alternative healing, what would you say or advice you would give to say, try it out or experience that type of method?
For me, I had tried different methods. I really kept a diary and saw how I was feeling before. I analyzed how I was feeling now. I spoke with my doctors. I let them know what I was doing. I let them know what supplements I wanted to take. I listened to their input. And through communication with my doctors and through research and working with other functional medicine doctors and herbalists, I was able to combine everything and decide what was best for me, and it worked.
Great. Well, Stacey, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. To learn all about Stacey's personal journey, find out where she's speaking next, or to sign up for one of her workshops or virtual events, head to staceychillemi.com.